Hi, Katie Law Goodwin again, and this is very informal reading of a chapter I just wrote called Soft Paws, and it's again part of Me and Noodle, the book about rehoming my greyhound, racing greyhound. This is a little bit of a lighter chapter, Soft Paws. This is part one of it. When we go out for our last evening piddle, Noodle trots out into the deepest part of the yard. Now she's coal black, and the night is often a velvet black, void of moonlight. The back part of the yard is a thicket, and Noodle's legs are so thin, her paws so light, that I sometimes cannot hear her at all, even in the dry leaves. It is ominously weird and somewhat scary, most especially when I go to call her, and she's already at my side, having been there for God only knows how long. Having had several animals lost to the strong jaws of coyotes in my backyard, I always accompany Noodle in the evening for her last constitutional. And when there is this bizarre radio silence, my thoughts are not always positive as I call and whistle and wonder where my Noodle has gone. Yet she's at my side, and I'm left dumbly wondering how long my dog has been right here, and wondering as well why I did not see her or hear her collect herself back to me. Even with the flashlight I'm carrying, not able to sense her soft breath on my hand, not able to hear the jingling of her tags, I have yet another sense of the strange phenomenon that is my Licorice Noodle, my racing stealth bomber. The labs were clods in the backyard, tearing like bears through the underbrush. There was no question where they were. And the little dogs, the Pomeranian and Pomapoo, barked incessantly, dragging clutter and cobwebs and leaves around on their bodies and in their fur. Twice a little Pomapoo, named Lucky Girl, was skunked because she provoked a family of skunks out of their home, being punished severely for doing so. Lucky Girl paid dearly for that infraction, as her eyes and nose streamed with horror as the little dog ran screaming into the house, rubbing her inflamed eyes and face all over my Persian silk rug. Although this expensive rug was professionally cleaned, it could never be relaid in our home. The stench of those skunks permeated the silk so completely, the rug was mostly destroyed. It's rolled up now and stored in my garage, and if one gets close, they are guaranteed the delight of skunk perfume and an almost sure experience of gagging. That rug will never be restored. Now the dog, however, was able to be cleaned enough with tomato juice, Massengill douche, Dawn detergent, and several other tried and true agents for deskunking one's dog or cat, allowing the canine or feline re-entry into the family. But the stench was deeply in Lucky Girl's skin for many months, and if one of my daughter's friends picked up the darling dog and held her anywhere near her face, we would hear the inevitable, "Pee, you, good God, what's that smell? Jesus, what's that stench?" And dear little Lucky Girl, we hear her drop to throne rather roughly away from the one who had previously coddled and admired her. Lucky Girl really suffered from her skunk experiences, so much so she did it again and again. Licorice Noodle, a sight hound, enjoys spending time burying toys and bones in the backyard, only to dig them up and try to bring them in later where they are filth-encrusted and hideously wormy. Several days ago, after an unusual bout of rain in Southern California, she availed herself of the fresh smells and soft availability of the shrubs and dirt and debris and put her needle nose in a beautiful ground nest in the backyard. The nest had been carefully constructed of thatched branches in elevated areas. Noodle spent about an hour there, nosing around. Finally, when she got too close for comfort for whatever creature inhabited the place, she was given her comeuppance because she yelped and jumped backwards like a firecracker was up her behind. She ran around and zigged and zagged away from the opening of the nest, looking crestfallen and not just a little irritated, glancing back at the area for the rest of her playtime that afternoon, gazing forlornly at what had surely been a conquest, yet became an absolute failure. It's fun to write. More later. Thanks for listening.